Hi. Sorry, I can't be with you all live today, but thought I would just record it this way so that we knew we had something. And if you want a playlist for this, my playlist, virtual restorative is the one I would recommend. So before we get started, if you want to, I want to really get into some good restorative shapes today. And we've gotten into good ones before, but I feel like at home we can access whatever props we need fairly easily. So the shape that I really want everybody to be in is something like this. So it doesn't have to be 2 blocks, but if you want to stop this and go get what you need to make a pretty good incline, it can be some books, or you can, if you have two relatively firm pillows, or even probably just blankets, you can angle them, maybe even just trying to find whatever support is needed to make it pretty firm. But you can see, you can kind of play with that and get it to whatever you need. And then also having two towels or blankets to support your arms, because when the incline is a little higher, like it's going to be today, the arms tend to be elevated off the ground, and that can cut off the circulation if they're not supported. So just having blankets or towels that'll kind of raise the floor up to your arms so that you can have your arms supported. And then having something, again, just a rolled blanket, a towel, another cushion, anything really, to put under your legs, just really getting into a comfortable shape here. So that'll be one of them. And then the other one that I'd like for us to be able to do today is, it's called astronaut. It's what I was taught it was called anyway. And you can do this by stacking a pillow on top of some books. You just want it higher than one bolster's width. And then we're just going to swing our legs up and over. So it doesn't have to be super high, but you want your legs relatively elevated over your hips. So maybe just stopping this for right now and gathering all those things together. Again, this can just be a couple of couch cushions. You can actually do this over a chair. This works totally fine with legs over a chair. It is different than legs up the wall, though, because your legs are bent over the prop, whatever it is, and supported. So chair, couch, if you have something like that nearby you, those things will all work really well. So now that we've gotten all the housekeeping out of the way, we will start some restorative yoga. We'll start on our backs. I'm just trying to get my music turned up so I can hear it here. Oops. Maybe more than everybody wants. All right. So just finding your way down onto your mat. You can let your legs go long, or if, like me, that's a lot on your spine, you can send your feet out wide towards the edges of your mat, tipping your knees in and just supporting your spine in that way. Letting all the busyness of the day start to fall away. Just coming into your body, your space. letting all the to-do lists, all the worries, all the concerns begin to just get set aside for a little bit. There's a lot to keep our minds busy these days, so it may take a little bit more effort, more time to come into this space. I did a breathing meditation last night. It was called a conversion breath. And in all honesty, it wasn't anything. The breath itself, we'll do in a moment. It's not anything that we haven't done before. But I really liked the name of it. I'm not sure what the intent of the name was, but for me, it was switching from one place to another, just perspective wise. So this conversion was kind of for me going from my mind being busy to this place of stillness, just letting it be a bit of a reset, a bit of a calming focus. So beginning to deepen your inhales, lengthen your exhales. Feeling everything expanding as you inhale and releasing as you exhale. And then just starting to inhale in through your nose, long inhales all the way up to the top, feeling that natural pause. And slowly exhaling out through an open mouth. Once you get to the bottom, letting your lips come together. Again, finding that natural pause for a moment. And then inhaling again through your nose. That slow, long inhale all the way up to the top. And then that exhale out through your mouth. Maybe making it a little bit audible, but slow and controlled all the way down. Really finding those natural pauses at the top and the bottom. Inhaling again through your nose, slow, all the way up to the top. And then exhaling, open mouth, a little bit audible, all the way down. Taking a couple more rounds like that. Feeling your body start to calm. Bringing your awareness to the present. Just focusing on your breath. Taking one more round like that. Just noticing how you feel after you've done that. Noticing any sounds around you. Feeling any sensations in your body. And then starting to let the sound you notice most be your breath. That sound of it coming in, sound of it going out. Noticing the sensations in your body that it brings as well. Starting to stretch arms and legs long, keeping that steady breath with you throughout this practice. Letting your 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale, whatever that means to you, letting it be a guide for this practice, a focus, letting it calm your body and your mind. Again, feeling that long stretch. And then starting to bring your knees into your chest, rocking side to side, feeling those muscles starting to relax, run down either side of your spine. Coming back to center, left foot planting on the floor, right foot extending towards the ceiling, rolling out your ankle. Reversing directions. All those pops and cracks coming out. And then pointing through your toes, feeling the sensation down the front side of your leg. And then flexing. This time feeling those sensations down the back of your leg. Releasing that and letting your right ankle cross over your left knee. You can thread through, pulling up on that left thigh, or you can just push gently away on your right thigh. You might not need any of that, but just trying to feel some sensation in your right hip. Rocking side to side if that feels good on your hips. And checking to see if both hips are relaxed. It's easy to hold on, but trying to just let everything go. And then if you can, and I say that because if the stretch is too much, then I would recommend just staying where you are. But if you can, letting your left knee fall over and your right sole of the foot come down to the mat. I'll do it in the opposite direction so you can see. So your left foot will be down, or excuse me, your right foot will be down. I'm all turned around. Your right foot will be down, your left knee will be over, and you can reach for your right ankle with your left hand. You're just trying to get a stretch through that top leg, outside of the top leg. You may feel some sensation in that pressure point on your bottom hip, on your left hip. You can hear my noisy cat behind me. I apologize. Beginning to unwind from that shape. Switching to let your right sole of the foot come down on the mat. Sending your left foot up, rolling out your ankle. Again, any pops and cracks coming out, reversing direction. And pointing your toes. That stretch coming down the front of your foot, front of your shin, knee, thigh, You may even feel it in the front of your hip. And then flexing your foot. Heel going up towards the ceiling. Toes pulled back towards your body. Stretch down the back of your leg, behind your knee, your hamstring, into your glutes. And releasing that to find your supine figure four. Either threading through to pull up on your right thigh or just gently pushing back with your hand, or even a block on your left thigh. Again, just trying to get into your left hip a little bit, opening it up. As you inhale, imagining your breath going to those tight spots, maybe your left hip, unfurling there, creating space. Letting that imagery help you relax through your hips. Releasing any grip you have and finding that little bit of a twisted shape on this side. So this time, your right sole, I'm sorry, I'm so twisted up here. Your left sole of the foot is going to come down to the mat. Your right knee, right outside of your leg is going to come down. Using your right hand, you can reach for your left ankle. You can stretch your left arm long to get a little more of a stretch down that left side of your body if you'd like. I find it really easy to hold on through my hips when I do this. So just taking a little body scan, seeing if you're holding on anywhere, checking through both hips, allowing that release. Beginning to unwind. Again, bringing both knees into your chest. And just hug them in or find that side to side rock. And then starting to make circles with your hips, with your knees. So just using your tailbone as the center point, moving like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your knees. Taking it slow. And then reversing, going in the opposite direction. Feeling all those pressure points as you do this. Coming back to center and rolling onto your side. Letting your bottom arm, doesn't matter which side you start on, but letting your bottom arm come out perpendicular to your body. Your top arm, palm on top of the other palm. You can let your head, your neck relax. Stacking your knees, just finding a good balanced shape here. On your inhale, opening your left arm across your body. So inhaling, opening all the way over, feeling that opening through your chest. And then as you exhale, closing it back off. Inhaling to open again. And exhaling to close. Taking one more like that. Inhaling to open. And exhaling to close. Just coming back onto your spine and onto your other side. So this time, that opposite bottom arm extending out perpendicular, top palm on your bottom palm. And as you inhale, bringing that arm all the way across, feeling a little bit of a twist in your spine with that opening of your chest. And then exhaling as you close. Again, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling to open and exhaling, bringing that right hand on top of the left, or top hand on top of bottom. This time, just pushing yourself up to a seat. Once you get here, bringing one foot in front of the other, finding your tall spine, maybe letting your eyes close, hands resting on your knees, just taking that long, tall breath in all the way up to the top and sighing it out through your mouth, coming back to that place of calm. On your next inhale, bringing arms up tall overhead. And as you exhale, left hand coming down, right hand coming up and over. And your inhale, coming back up, arms up overhead. And then exhaling, right hand down, left arm over. Pushing in with your bottom hand to stay strong through your shoulders. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling down. Inhaling back up. Exhaling. Coming back up to center. This time, twisting right hand to left knee. Looking over your left shoulder, feeling tall through your spine. Crown of your head, getting a little taller with each inhale. Releasing a little deeper with each exhale. Letting your left hand come up overhead, still holding on right hand towards your left knee, and then tipping over towards the right. So feeling a stretch down your left side body, still staying grounded through your hips. Letting your left hand come back down, unwinding again, bringing arms up tall overhead, feeling that full length of your spine again, and twisting left hand to right knee. Your right hand just as a tripod behind you, tall through your spine, twisting through your exhales. Letting your right arm go up tall overhead and tipping over towards the left. Feeling that stretch all the way down your right side body. Starting to unwind, arms coming back up for that stretch one more time. And as you exhale, cactusing your elbows out. Maybe your gaze goes up, just feeling that opening through your chest. Inhaling them back up one more time like that. Exhaling for cactus. Inhaling. Letting your hands float back down to your knees and moving towards tabletop. Once you get there, finding that neutral spine and just moving through your cat-cows. So letting your belly drop as you inhale, hips, head, and shoulders rise, and exhaling, rounding your spine, crown of your head and tailbone coming down. Inhaling again to open up and exhaling to round. Inhaling, moving to your breath here, finding any movement with your spine that you need. Taking one more round. Coming back to meet in a neutral spine. Walking your hands out to find melting heart. Letting your hips stay up over your knees, chin or forehead coming down to the mat. You can place a block under your chin or your forehead to bring the floor up to you. Starting to walk your palms back up, finding that neutral spine, and sending your right leg long behind you, pushing into the ball of your foot, feeling that stretch. Trying to find your neutral spine as you do this as well. Melting heart is a bit of a back bend, so just trying to neutralize it here. Letting your right knee come back down and switching to send your left ball of the foot back, pushing in through your foot, feeling that stretch through your calf. Left knee coming back down and taking child's pose here. So either closed kneed or wide kneed. If you do closed kneed, I recommend arms going back towards your feet. If you do wide kneed, I recommend them going out long. You can try it in any combination of ways and see what works best for you though. Feeling this rounding of your spine. A little bit of a release. The grounding nature of the shape. With your forehead on the mat. Your chest maybe pressing on your knees. Shins pressing down into the mat. Starting to come back up to a seat. Letting your legs come out in front of you. Reaching for a block or a book or a pillow if you have it. Letting the soles of your feet come together out relatively far in front of you. Take a restorative bound angle here. Starting to fold forward. Letting your forehead maybe come to rest on a prop or maybe even just letting your chin come down to your chest, keeping your spine relatively straight. You'll still get a pretty impressive release through your spine. Again, just taking a body scan, especially from your face, your shoulders, down your back to your hips here, letting everything release. Beginning to bring your spine back upright, your torso back up, and lowering yourself back onto the mat. Pulling your right knee into your chest. You can bring your knee out towards your shoulder, your right shoulder a little bit. Really letting your biceps do all the work here. Shoulders, neck, jaw, relaxing. And then finding your twist, depending on what props you have around you. As you let your right leg fall across your body, maybe you just let it rest on something. Keeping your hips stacked, both shoulders down, gazing over the right shoulder. Again, your inhales creating a little length in your spine. Your exhales taking you deeper into this twist. Beginning to unwind, coming back onto your spine. Right leg going long, left leg pulling in. Again, letting your jaw, your neck, your shoulders relax. You can pull your left knee towards your left shoulder if that feels good. Get into your hip flexor a little bit more that way. And then starting to find your twist on this side. Maybe moving props over to the other side. Left knee falling across. Hips stacked. Shoulders down. Gazing to the left. Beginning to unwind again. Coming back onto your back. Pulling your knees into your chest. Then sending Arms and legs up towards the ceiling, shaking everything out. Just for a couple of breaths, staying here in stillness, letting everything relax. Wrists flexed, elbows and knees a little bit bent, feet relaxed, letting everything drain back towards center. Pulling your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug. You can rock side to side on your spine again if that feels good. And then letting soles of your feet come to the mat, letting them go wide towards the edges of your mat, knees tipping in. One hand coming to your belly, one hand coming to your chest. Just staying here for a couple of breaths. Feeling your heartbeat, feeling your breath. Noticing the connection that you're making with your hands, with your body, your breath, your heartbeat. Beginning to roll to your side, just pushing yourself up to a seat. So the first restorative shape we'll take is that reclined position. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to keep the blocks upright, and if that's the case, using pillows or blankets may be easier than trying to get the blocks to stay if you're having any trouble. If you are on a cushy surface, a rug, I've had people tell me they've done this practice in bed, so that would definitely count as cushy. But if not, and you want to put a little extra padding under your tailbone, you can do that too with an extra blanket. Bringing whatever you have, blankets, towels, pillows, so that they're in place at the more or less at the levels of your arms. And if you have an eye pillow, having that handy too. Whatever you'd like underneath your legs. Getting your tailbone up pretty close to that incline, lying back over it. Hopefully, in this shape today, you're a little more inclined than you've been in some of the other home practices we've done. Feel like the restorative, relaxing benefits of this shape happen even more with the head up a little higher. Starting to, again, let your breath come to that comfortable 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale. Taking a body scan, letting everything relax. Feeling your breath as it comes in and goes out, letting it be like a wave washing over you, receding back out. We'll stay in this shape a little longer than we usually do. Once I start to call you back out of it, if you're right where you need to be, just stay in it. Don't move. It's always a good thing, but especially in a home practice. If you're right where you need to be, just stay there for as long as you can. But I'll let you know before we move on to the next shape. If you're right where you need to be, just staying there. If you want to try a different shape, starting to just find a little movement. Once you have adjusted with a little bit of movement, bringing yourself up to a seat. This next shape that we're going to do is a side lying shape. Actually, this is kind of a child's pose shape on the bolster. So I like to keep the bolster on the blocks for that incline, but you can also do it just with blocks under your bolster, or just with two bolsters or two pillows, or even more than that. And depending on what you have to do this with, I like to bring the bottom pillow in a little bit into my thighs, but then the top one I like to pull all the way into my belly so that I almost have to just push it down and lay over it. So there's a good bit of pressure on my belly. And then letting your feet come down. And if this shape is hard on your knees, the alternative would be coming back to that incline. Bringing one hip up to the bolster. And you can turn your head in either direction here. You'll get a little more of a stretch if you're facing the opposite way of your knees. A little more restorative, cozier shape if you're facing the same way as your knees. Regardless, just finding a little bit of comfort, whichever shape you're in. We won't stay in this one near as long as the other. I'll let you know in a couple of minutes. You can either just switch sides that you're facing, or in that inclined one, bringing opposite hip up to the bolster. Starting to just switch sides, whatever shape you're in. If you're in that supported child's, it just means maybe switching the direction you're looking in that inclined shape. A little more movement is required. And if you're happy where you are, it's not going to make a difference to your body if you just stay in that shape. Starting to slowly come out of whatever shape you're in. And bringing whatever props you have, or maybe it's a chair or bed that you're using, towards the foot of your mat, the foot of your space. Again, if you want something under your tailbone, you can have that. And this is a shape that's nice to have something on top of your chest as well. If you have something heavy, you can use that. Although a rolled towel, blanket, pillow, anything works. I happen to have a sandbag. But just bringing your legs up and over whatever you have. And in this shape, you don't really want your knees right on top of your hips. You want your hips and at an angle to your knees, with your knees farther away from your body. So once you find the shape, settling in, using any props that you have. You can always cover yourself with a blanket. Eye pillows are great here again. And I just starting to really sink in to the shape. I'm going to walk you through a body scan, some breathing, and then I'm just going to leave you in this Shavasana for as long as you'd like, finishing your practice, maybe letting the playlist run out, maybe just taking in for as long as you need. But for now, feeling Your toes relax, the tops of your feet, your ankles, shins, knees, your thighs, and coming to rest in your hips for a few breaths. Really finding that release there. Feeling your belly as it rises and falls. Your chest as it expands and contracts. Letting your shoulders relax. Biceps, elbows, forearms, wrists and thumbs, palms, all your fingers. Coming back up to your neck, letting your jaw relax. Lips, teeth, and tongue. Tongue falling away from the roof of your mouth. Letting your cheeks relax, your eyes and their sockets, your forehead. And coming back to that breath that we did at the beginning of the practice. Taking in a long breath all the way up to the top. Exhaling it out through your mouth. Again, inhaling. And exhaling. Taking a couple more rounds on your own. Setting yourself up for some stillness, some quiet, that conversion. Letting your mind rest, your body, your soul. Then again, bringing your awareness to the sound of your breath. The sensations in your body. Just staying right here. Keeping your thoughts quiet. Letting your awareness rest. Staying with your breath. Taking the Shavasana. Using it to be the end of this practice, and the segue to the rest of your day. Staying here as long as you'd like. I'll see you the next practice.